Kennedy. Anna Nicole Smith. And David Zucker, the man who made us all laugh. Well, well, well. Who gets the first question? I'm telling you, you must, first of all, we should say, Nicole, you're new, or Anna, you're new to this.
I sure am.
Yeah, moving into the family, huh?
Moving in.
Right. The boys didn't make eyes at you on the set, did they?
They were all married.
And the genius behind this wonderful idea, David Zucker, also is with us. Anna Nicole Smith, you are originally from Houston, Texas. Now, don't forget that.
Yes, sir, I am.
You are Playboy's 1993 Playmate of the Year.
Yes, sir.
And you are the model subject for the Guess Jean ads.
Yes, sir.
My good woman, your face appears around the world. I hope you're enjoying this.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Are you?
It's great.
Well, were you at the drugstore when some guy with a cigar said, I can get you a job? Or how were you discovered? Did you go to, somebody said, obviously, in high school, you should be a model?
Well, actually, how it happened was I always wanted a model. And after I had my son, well, I'm a big girl. And I went to... modeling agencies, and they said, get down to 125, darken your hair, this,
really?
That, and that, so no one would really take me. And Paul Marciano had called Marilyn Grabowski, which is a personal friend of mine, and his. So she called me and said, Paul Marciano's interested. Oh, my God, you know, you got to call this guy. And I'm like, who's Paul Marciano?
He's a still guy?
What is Guess Jeans? So he was doing a shoot in down in Texas. So he came down and met me. But when he first met me, he was like, you know, I'm not very sure. Because I always wear my hair in a ponytail, wear no makeup.
Yeah.
And
well, he may be the one man on earth who would give you that response when you walk in the room. What was the grievance? You were too heavy, did he think?
Who?
The guy that gave you the funny look and wasn't sure whether he wanted you to be his model.
Oh, Paul?
Paul.
No, I think Paul likes big women.
Oh, he does?
Claudia Schiffer was pretty big before when she started with him. But when I went to the shoot, he invited me to go to the shoot in San Antonio. It was a kid's shoot. And he said, well, why don't you make her up and put her in some clothes and everything. And they did. And he walked in the, I'll never forget his eyes. He walked into the trailer, and his eyes was like... And I was like, yes.
In other words, you got the job. Is that what you think?
Got the job 3 weeks later. I got a 3-year contract, and still going.
So, yeah. And, well, and you don't have to be a pencil to be a model. Huh? We are in New York City with the stars. I'll get your questions here in just a moment, of Naked Gun. And yes, you asked for it. You wanted it. There's been...
I had a question for Miss Smith. It's still Miss Smith, right?
Uh-huh.
How old is your son now?
He just turned 8 years old in January.
Oh, okay. And you, as we've established, perhaps we should make this point at a time when the still people, that is to say models who work for still, have to be almost you know, pencil thin. You are
Not me.
No, yeah. Well, that's a very encouraging development, may we say, in the age of fashion, when we have so many people out there saying, nobody looks like this. You're able to say, here I am, and I'm not. You're not a size 5. How shall we say, huh?
No, I'm not a 5. I'm way above that. But I get really great fan mail from women thanking me, you know, for coming out there and being the size I am, so.
Yeah. Just want to show.
Right.
Hold on, just hold this for me. This is nice work. Let me see here. Oh, I think I'm able to show all this. Look at this.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
It's all decent.
Yeah, it is. There's nothing...
It's all decent.
Yeah. Well, is this Paul's work?
Yes, sir.
Well, he knows what he's doing. Tell Paul, don't stop now. This is perfect. And you're selling a lot of merchandise.
Yes, I am.
And that's what you're paid to do, girl. And we'll be back in just a moment. See you on film, Anna. Who wouldn't want to watch you work? Here's Anna Nicole Smith, Naked Gun, 33 1/3. Come on in, Anna.
Which scene?
I had to get a message to police squad. This thing was turning into more than I could handle by myself. No phone and miles from civilization. My prospects look bleaker than a gerbil's in a bathhouse.
Who's down there? Slasher, have you seen my pigeon?
Pigeon? What pigeon?
What are you doing?
I'm just contemplating my next move.
Your bishop is exposed.
It's these pants. I usually wear a fuller cut.
You're all man. I like that in my man.
You're coming on to me big time, sister. You're praying like a kitten with a fresh mouse, but we got a problem.
We're Jewish?
No. You're Rocco's girl. And in my book, that chapter is called Look But Don't Touch.
I could have two lovers.
Kinky. Well, I like my sex the way I play basketball. One-on-one and with as little dribbling as possible.
Did you write that line, David?
Every line. Bob Locash wrote some of those lines, too.
We want to see these kinds of films. We want to be wacky and physical comedy, and what's wrong with that? A little entertainment now and then is treasured by the best of men. Am I telling the truth or not, Anna?
I just want to say I got 2 kisses from Leslie.
Well, and you'll never forget them, I'm sure.
No, I won't.
Yes. Well, we'll be back to let the audience ask you about that in just a moment.
Yeah, this question was for Miss Smith. I was just wondering if it would be possible to give the prettiest girl in New York a hug.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
Maybe afterward. Well, otherwise, we got a lot of... Yes, I'm sorry you're so shy. Maybe we could...
First of all...
And we'll be back in just a minute.
Yes, my question is for Anna. I was just wondering, how do you teach your son to respect women when you're in Playboy and you do stuff like that?
How do I...
To respect,
Can you
the
repeat
woman's
that?
question implies that your appearance in Playboy would not promote the respect for
How
women.
do you teach your son to respect women when, how would you say he was, 8?
He's 8 years old.
Yeah, 8.
I had nothing from my son. He's seen my Playboy, he's seen my tapes, he sees everything.
What does he think of women when he sees stuff like this?
Why don't you tell us how you feel? You keep
I
asking.
just think, I think
tell
it's,
us how you feel.
okay, I'll tell you how I feel. I think it's great you're a model and everything, all that's great, but when you take your clothes off and do something like that for Playboy, I find it very degrading to women, and I just don't think it makes women look very good, and I'm just wondering what the impression is of an 8-year-old child that sees something like
Well,
that.
he loves it.
I mean, I know he's proud of you, all the work you've done, in your career, but I just wonder what he thinks when he sees his mom take her clothes off like that for a magazine.
Well,
like
he
Playboy.
looks at the pictures and he says, that's my mom. He smiles, he watches my films. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't hide anything from my son. He knows everything about my life. He knows everything, and I will continue to let him know everything.
Anna, on the other side of the coin, I'd just like to say thanks a lot because it's certainly very...
Can we have your attention over here, please? Yeah.
On the other side of the coin, I'd like just to say thanks because it certainly was a very tasteful spread, as they call it. And I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Tasteful.